If you tell them about the fact that they are being scammed, they don't believe you. They believe someone who they have never met, they have never seen. They don't know if there's any reality to the person being, whoever is sending the messages and things to them. They end up sending money. They end up falling in love with an image. They end up sending nude photographs and other things. Whatever, scamming comes in many form and fashion. Some people feel that you're only scammed of your money, but you could be scammed of your dignity. You have to be very careful about that. And the reason why I decided to bring up tonight's topic is because sometime back I was looking at a television program where this young lady caused harm to herself. And while watching it, I said, in my mind, I conjured up the image of this person. Whatever they were saying was she did to herself. I thought that maybe someone did it to her. And today I met up with a family member of that young lady, and we were discussing it, and I said, did you look at it from this angle? And then he started to tell me of the scam that she went through, that there were individuals in India who would contact her and say they're praying for her and they're going to do a puja for her. Now, of course, if you're vulnerable, if you think that you need that in your life, you'll say, right, somebody from the Holy Land is sending a message to say, well, I can pray for you. So maybe it's a direct link with God. So maybe I should do something. Maybe I should send some money for this individual, which of course they'll ask for. And on the first instant, they will tell you, well, we didn't receive the money yet, so you have to send it again. But of course, they have received it. But that's how the scam works. Sometimes a person will send you and say, well, a person died in their country with a lot of money in the bank, and they have a very similar name to your name, and we want to send money to your account. All we need for you to do is give us your account number, your address, and send us $500. Well, of course, everything is in US. They don't want 500 TT. They want 500 US. So you will go out of your way because you hear that you think that you're going to get millions of dollars, and you send them your bank account, which they would hack into and they will drain, and they will also take the $500 that you're sending to them. But there's so many scams out there. Sometimes if it's a guy and he's single, and they prey on the vulnerability of individuals. If they know that you're a single guy, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't chat with person, it might be a man you're talking to, but he will send you a picture of a female. So you must be aware of this. But sometimes, because everyone is so caught up with social media, and social media being an individual thing, because you may be in your room locked up, spending time on your phone and nobody knows, or on your PC, and no one knows because they don't know what you're doing. The worst thing is to have a credit card. And I was speaking to a friend over the weekend, and she told me, she said, I don't want a credit card for nothing, because the last one I had, I just spent money and I had a lot of money to pay back. Because when you have a piece of plastic in your hand, you tell yourself, well, you have a lot of money, and you just go and swipe and swipe and swipe, and it adds up, and you realize that you're in financial burden. So from my understanding with what has happened to the young lady is that she actually sent away close to $500,000. Now, some of you might raise your eyebrow and you may think that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But you will wonder, how could somebody do something like that? But these scammers are so trained that they will get you to send your last cent. They will get you. First of all, they'll find out what your addictions are. And they will find out your addiction. And based on your addiction, they're going to feed that addiction. And you will want more, and you'll want more, and you'll want more. And eventually they're going to take everything from you. And then it's like a drug, you know. Long ago we had a problem in our society. Well, I think that kind of is in abeyance now, because you would have guys who were hooked on cocaine and they'll go and sell the roof off of their house. If you fall asleep in your house, you may wake up without a roof. And that was literally happening to people. There were individuals who were stealing the walls, they were stealing the louvers, they were stealing anything to sell to get that rock to use. And it may sound funny, but it's the truth. So you have to be very careful about what you're doing out there. So when they find your addiction, you may be addicted to a religious thing. You may be addicted to the fact that someone is talking to me and telling me all these nice things. But remember that these scammers will ask you the question today. Keep the information, and tomorrow they will give you the answer as though they have just thought about it. So you have to be careful about that also. There's a movie, I can't remember the movie, and I'm trying my best to recall this movie. There's a movie about this guy who sits in a room with all these PCs around him. And he creates different scenario. He taps into individuals who are living alone and whatnot. He gets them to do certain things with threats, with blackmail and other things. And he controls everything with his PCs that he have around him. And that's what he does. And if you understand this, you'll understand that there's one particular woman out there who goes around telling people that she can do spiritual cleansing, and she could help you to become rich, and she could help you to do this, and she could help you to do that. And she's just scamming people. And she tells people she's in California. Now, I know about this directly because I know of a lot of people who have been scammed by her. But you know what she gets from you? Nude photographs. And she keeps those nude photographs today. And 5 years down the line, she'll be contacting you and say, I am going to make this public if you don't do so and so for me. And her name is Suzanne, in case you don't know, or Liana. So you have to be very careful of these people. They are the ones who are doing these things. They are the ones who are scamming people out there. And you have to be very, very careful. We have individuals who are in Nigeria, Ghana, other African countries doing the very same thing. You may have individuals in Trinidad who tell you that they're in another country doing the very same thing because they're getting you to do things for them. As a matter of fact, the person was telling me that his family member was banned from sending money through Western Union because she was just sending a lot of money. And Western Union couldn't do it anymore because she couldn't account for the money, because she was actually borrowing money from people to send away. And when she couldn't account for the money or repay it, she did something drastic to herself. Now, think about this. You may have a family member behaving in the same way. I know when I first brought this up some time ago, we were discussing it about individuals who are doing this, and persons were calling me and say, yes, I know of someone, I know my dad is hooked on that, I know my cousins, and there are persons who give away their life savings because they find a way to get into your head to do that. Now, some people do it for money. Some people do it for other things. So you have to be very careful what you're sending out there, what you're doing, who you're sending it to. More than likely, and this is something I will advise anyone to do out here, if somebody contacts you from a country, a particular area in a country, tell them to buy the newspaper of that day that they're talking to you. Take a photograph of themselves holding the newspaper so you can see the date. That's for you to confirm what they're telling you is the truth. First of all, that they're truthful about where they are and who you're talking to. Because more than likely, they will never do it. 99.9% of the time, they will never do it. And you cannot tell me you can't go and buy a newspaper for $1. Because nowhere else anywhere in the world, no newspaper is very expensive. Or if you can't get it, tell them go and borrow one from the neighbor. If you cannot get a newspaper, go borrow one from the neighbor. Take a photograph with you holding the... now, you will wonder what all this has to do with sex. Let me tell you. Some people are so caught up with social media that they have no time for themselves. They have no time to form a relationship. They have no time to deal with their sexuality. They may also be dealing with their sexual preferences and whatnot through the internet, which is not real. They may be dealing with their feelings and their sexual wants and needs through the internet, which is not real. Through social media, and you're not sure who you're dealing with. So you have to be very careful about these things. Person preys on your vulnerability. So you have to be very careful about being vulnerable. You have to be very careful about the things that you want in life. Sometimes they use religion. And we all know that religion could sway you very easily, especially if you believe in what the person is telling you. So that's where you can also become corrupted. That's where you can be taken for a ride. That's where you will lose hope, because the ones that love you, and sometimes we don't pay enough attention to the things that are really important to us. Because at the end of the day, you know, some persons may think, oh, well, I don't really need my family around me. But at the end of the day, if you don't have family around you in your trying times, you're not going to make it. You're not going to get over your depression. You're not going to get over your problems. It's the same thing with the drug addict. It's the same thing with the person who is going through some sort of depression. They may need others around them to help them to come out of it. So don't ever forsake your family. Don't forsake those friends who are truthful. And of course, we know we do have some friends who are also scamming us in one way or the other. So you have to be careful about those also. But you need to know about these things. And I'm sure there are individuals out there who have encountered someone scamming them of something. Now, it does not have to be money alone. It may be part of your dignity, a photograph, something that they make you do, some friend in school, somebody who have contacted you and pretend to be your age. You may even, and that's another thing, you know, there are individuals who sometimes go on social media and lie about themselves. And in order to impress the person who they're lying to, they end up doing a lot of foolishness. So you have to be very careful about these things, because at the end of the day, whatever you do out there and whatever you send through cyberspace, it exists. It remains in there somewhere. Nothing is ever erased, you know. When a person tells you something is erased, it's not really erased. You have to trust that person, and you have to really believe in that person that it wouldn't come back to haunt you, to come back to bite you. So I'm sure there are individuals out there who have encountered situations like this and may want to deal with it, or may want to find a way to deal with it. So so I'm asking you to be very careful, but I'm also asking you to share it with us, because I don't want persons to feel I'm coming here and make up these things and it never happened to any individual and these things are not real. We know it's real. We're very aware it's real, and I understand what it does to the psyche, because I was telling the individual today, I said, if you had brought that person to me, I would have been able to counsel that person, because that's one of the things that I do, and help that person to break that habit. And I would have shown them the things that they could do to find out if the other person on the other side is real. And that would help you to understand what is taking place. That will help you to deal with whatever is going on. And at the end of the day, you will be able to handle your stories. But, you know, sometimes the truth is presented to you and you don't want to accept it. And that's one of the problems that we have in society also. A lot of young people think they know everything. And when I say young, I don't mean young in age, you know. I mean, they're not matured enough. They don't realize the mistakes they have made. I know a lot of older gentlemen who have never given themselves the opportunity to be out there and interact and whatnot with society. And they're locked up in a room and they think that the whole world revolves around their room. That's why I tell parents, if you have a child, let that child go out sometime and play. Let them make friends on the outside. Don't have them locked up in your house. Don't have them only playing video games and being on their phone. Your life should never revolve around a phone. There are much more important things in your life than that cell phone, you know. They are much more important. My programming person here is looking at his cell phone and he's wondering if I'm throwing that for him. I ain't throwing that for you. I know you need to be on the cell phone while you're here. We need to monitor the cell phone here because we have messages coming in. Well, some came in already, but it's just greetings and whatnot. We need individuals to send us their questions, anything to do with your personal self, sexuality, your behavior, something that's happening in your relationship. Text us, send us a message on 2994103. WhatsApp us at that number also, 2994103, or send me a message on my personal cell phone, 7401961. That number again, 7401961. The personal greetings are fine, you know, but I like when people ask me questions. And good night, Dr. Raj. I will follow you on what station you go. Zaida from Tunapuna. Thank you very much, Zaida. And I know I have a lot of following, and I have individuals who will listen to me wherever I am. If I'm doing an interview, they will follow up on interviews. And I spread myself as much as I can, not only with radio, but also with my personal life. Some persons may say they're very busy and they can't attend to something, but I try to find the time to make sure I do the things that are important to me. So from time to time, I will do all the personal stuff and make sure that I am satisfied with whatever I am doing. And that's how I am. I'm never too busy to do things. So those of you on Facebook, I know we have some persons on Facebook. Also, those of you on Facebook Live, you can send your messages. Of course, your questions or your comments on the topic that I brought forward. This thing about being scammed. by individuals. And like I said, it don't only have to be on social media. There are individuals who are sitting on the corner waiting to scam you of $1 or $2 to buy something. Sometimes they scam you they ask you for money to buy something, or they come to you with a raffle ticket, or they come to you with a donation sheet, and that money never reach where it's supposed to reach. It doesn't have to be the person sitting on the side of the road. It could be somebody in jacket and tie also. There are a lot of scammers out there. So when persons think that they're not being scammed, sometimes you are being scammed. So just be very careful about that. So again, for those of you who want to WhatsApp, for those of you who want to send your questions, for those of you who want to interact with this program, because remember it's an interactive program dealing with all sexual issues, it's 299-4103. That number again, 299-4103. Good night. A few years ago, a guy that I had known well had asked me to send him a photo of my penis. I never did. He don't speak to me again. Nigel. Well, yes. If somebody asks you to send something and you are uncomfortable with doing that, don't do it. Don't do it, because it may be that person may be using it to blackmail you. Sometimes immediately, or sometimes it may be, sometimes it may be later on in life. So if you're not comfortable, don't do it. If you know the person and the person is willing to trade with whatever you want to do and you're comfortable with that, by all means you could do that. But there are things that you just don't do, especially the young ladies out there. The young ladies out there have to be extremely careful. You can find yourself in a situation that could be very embarrassing to you, if not immediately, as I said, later on in life. So, what do we have here? Anything else? Just a hey and a hi. Again, for those of you who want to interact with the program, for those of you who want to ask your questions, this is the program to ask your questions about your sexual health, about things that are affecting you, about things that you need to learn, things that you want to do with your life, things that you want to make better in your life. 299-4103. That number again is 299-4103. Of course, I don't think everybody's quite all right with everything that they're hearing. If you want to challenge some of the things I'm saying, also you can do that, because a debate is never a bad thing. You know. Of course, be respectful and of whatever you're doing. Shamila says, hi, good night, excellent program. Thank you very much. Do you have a question to ask? It will be helpful if you tickle my brain. You know, when people ask me questions, it's when I start to think deeper and all the information comes to my head. So that's when I'm able to handle anything. We have one viewer in Quebec, Canada, my cousin. Anne, how are you?
And we have one question tonight. What can I do to make my sexual marriage more exciting? And why do women take long to come?
Women don't take long to come really, you know, because there is a procedure for a woman to actually have an orgasm. Not all women are tuned to their bodies, so they may not know what to do. Some of them don't have the opportunity from their lover, their partner, to achieve that. So you need to sometimes ask the question, what do I need to do to satisfy you or to help you to achieve an orgasm? We don't make a woman come. We have this false sense of pride and this false sense of ego, thinking that we make a woman come, but we really don't. We help a woman to have an orgasm. And you help a woman to have an orgasm by doing the things that are going to stimulate her. That's why foreplay is an essential part of lovemaking. So foreplay in the form of speaking, touching. Sometimes it may be as simple as a massage. Sometimes it may be simply saying the things that the person wants to hear. Sometimes it might be your physical presence. Sometimes the thought of the woman, or thought by the woman of being with her lover, seeing her lover, that also excites her. So there are a number of things that excites your partner. Now, of course, if you're disappointing that person, the brain has a shut-off mechanism. And let me tell you about the shut-off mechanism. If you are accustomed being with a lover who is not sensitive enough to understand the things that needs to be done for you, who don't understand your body and only thinks about themselves in a selfish way for their own personal gratification, your mind is going to be switched off of that person. So sometimes you need to reprogram your mind, and you need to get yourself back into a situation where you now start to understand your partner. You start to have a communication, you have to have communication with the person, and that person must be able to tell you the things that they need done to themselves. So it is not just using your body or using your talent or your ability to make love, but it's also listening to your partner.
All right, good night, everyone. This young lady appears to be in a relationship, but she's having issues reaching an orgasm. How can she improve?
Read the first part, I didn't hear.
She's in a relationship, but she seems to be having some issues reaching an orgasm. How can she improve?
Again, if you focus on having an orgasm and not enjoying whatever is being done to you, that is also an issue, you know. There's some persons who think that an orgasm is the ultimate. It is not necessarily the ultimate for you. You may need to relax enough to enjoy whatever is happening with you and your partner, the bonding, the chemistry, the physical activity and whatnot, before that person takes you to that point. And I know many women, they feel the urge to urinate at that point of orgasm and they shut off because they're afraid of urinating. They don't realize that they may become a squirter, or they are a squirter, and that is what is happening at that moment. So you have to be very careful of not wanting something. You know, the Japanese have a saying, be careful of what you wish for, you may get it. And when it comes to an orgasm, a lot of women, they wish for an orgasm, they're thinking about an orgasm, but they shut themselves off from having an orgasm.
Sounds about right. Dr. Raj, is there a mindset to get a hard erection?
Well, your mind is your largest sex organ, your brain is your largest sex organ. So yes, it is the one that controls that, and it will help you with it. Pleasant good evening. We have a call on the line. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Recommend what exactly? Okay. Okay. No, there's no such thing as testosterone tablet. So don't let anybody fool you and tell you there's a testosterone tablet. You cannot ingest testosterone. So there's no such thing. Okay? If you need treatment for testosterone, you will know it because you will go through something called andropause. That's why tests needs to be done. You could go through andropause in your 20s, and I have a lot of patients in Trinidad who are going through andropause in their 20s, which is something that is not heard of outside of Trinidad and Tobago. But we live in a petrochemical country. We live in a very stressful environment, and it causes us to go through andropause at an early age. If you suspect that, for example, you have an alarm bell, you know. You see, if you stop waking up with morning erection and you get in a full night's sleep, that's your first sign. It is your body telling you that you no longer have the amount of testosterone to give you that erection. If you cannot maintain a hard erection, it is your body telling you something is wrong. So when you find yourself in a situation where you are having these symptoms, you need to get tested for your testosterone level. Take your testosterone level to an expert. Some doctors don't read it properly, because once you're within the range, they'll tell you within the range everything okay, but you know you have a problem. That's why a sexologist reads a testosterone test differently from a doctor. We have ranges by which we look at. So if you're 22 and let's say your testosterone level is on the lower end of a range, we'll tell you something is wrong because we understand it differently. Remember, sexual practice is not a form of medicine, you know, it's really sexology. So you have to be very careful with the diagnosis of that. Once you've been diagnosed with low testosterone, the only thing that really raises testosterone is injections.
We just have some more greetings coming out from Sandy Grandy. Miss Chan, thank you so much. We're glad to hear that.
My hometown, I'm a Grandy boy, proud of it.
And Miss Merlin as well too is also sending greeting. Good night, Miss Merlin.
Okay, and where is she from?
Nothing yet. Who knows? Maybe she'll send that in a little bit. Yeah. And for all our Facebook viewers, of course, I have to say, hit the wow button if you find that that was a lot of money that that person lost. How much was it, Dr. Raj?
$500,000.
Wow.
That's the estimation.
So it could be more.
Yeah, that's an estimation. It could be more. It's what turned up. It's what upon investigation, that's what they came up with. So it could be more. It can be less because upon counting, that's where they reach. I mean, we laugh about it now, but it's not a laughing matter. It's a very serious matter.
It is.
Yeah.
Make sure and hit that wow button, everyone, and be sure to give us a share on Facebook as well too. I'm seeing the wows are now coming in as well.
We are. I
saw a wow and a heart. So.
You're better at
that. More evening greetings coming in. Thank you so much. Be sure to send in your questions at 299-4103. That's 299-4103.
Now, that part that I told the gentleman about an individual cannot take tablets to raise testosterone level is very true. Testosterone tablets, and I know there are lots of products out there on the shelf that says testosterone booster, testosterone this, and men are so fooled into wanting to raise their testosterone, they go and buy all these products. But there are no foods that raise testosterone, there are foods that maintain testosterone. The supplements that you see that says testosterone booster, it doesn't raise testosterone, it maintains testosterone. If you need to raise testosterone, there is a particular way, there's a protocol for doing that. And that protocol has to be followed in a specific manner, or else you could end up with serious problems.
Totally agree. And we have another question here. Do all women always have to have an orgasm when having sex?
No. You can get satisfaction without an orgasm. Same thing with men. You don't need to ejaculate all the time when you have intercourse. But men are so programmed into ejaculation that if they don't ejaculate, they get something called blue balls, which is very, very painful, right?
Very painful.
You remember when you got it right?
I sure remember.
Blue balls is a very painful thing, and I have never experienced that in my life. In my 40... Let me just say how much active years. I have never. No, I always tell myself, but I have no problem in doing that. I talk openly. That's one thing with me. I have never experienced that. That's a wet dream. I've never experienced
and we have another question coming in. If a guy has high blood pressure, cholesterol, and an enlarged heart, could he be impotent?
I do not use the word impotent. He may have sexual dysfunction. Impotency means you cannot get it up ever again. But he may have, of course, with those three symptoms. Once your cholesterol level goes up, your testosterone are depleted.
That's a triple threat.
So,
right
so that's a yes.
We're seeing some laughs coming in too. Okay.
Laugh?
Yeah.
Somebody laughing at me? This is not a comedy show, you know. Remember, this is not a... Oh.
And be sure to send in your questions at 299-4103. We have another question here coming in. Do women who have had their womb and ovaries removed still can achieve an orgasm through penetration?
Yes, orgasm is triggered from the entrance of the vagina, the first 1/3 of the vagina, which is where the G-spot is, and the clitoris. So if you have had a hysterectomy, it may affect you. It may affect your ability to get that sensation inside of your vagina. It will affect you with penetration. Sometimes your partner is turned off by it because of the hysterectomy, but you can have an orgasm. You can have a very intense orgasm if your partner knows what to do. Somebody say I'm comical. I look like a joke. Sabrina says, good night, my friend. I'm always locked on. Thank you very much, my darling. How are you?
We're getting a lot of greetings tonight. Wow,
oh,
everyone just wants to say hi.
Wait a minute. You get to the greetings, you're reading up and say, well, Sheila said good night, or Harry said good night. Let me know.
I'm seeing the numbers. I don't want to call the numbers.
But call the last four numbers. 8208 says, or whatever, you know. That's what I would do if they don't send your name.
Yeah.
If you don't send your name, I'll call out the last 4 numbers and say, well, this one says so and so and that number. So persons out there will know it's for real. They wouldn't think that we're just sitting here and saying, you know, people sending greetings and and if they doubt us, then we'll call the full number.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Nah, we wouldn't do that. It's just me having fun.
Hi, good night. My question tonight for Dr. Raj is, if a woman has not been sexually active for a while and has sex with a partner who has a large penis, will it cause the woman to bleed?
If she's not properly lubricated, a woman will bleed with a small penis, or she'll bleed with her finger. It has nothing to do with a large penis. A large penis, this is a fallacy. Once a woman is turned on enough, she can accommodate almost any size of penis.
So it's all about
It depends on the person who is using the penis. If they're rough with her, of course, they could cause tearing of the vaginal wall. The bleeding comes from scar tissue in the vaginal walls. The vaginal walls are accordion-like. If it's not properly lubricated, it will not stretch. If it's properly lubricated, it's going to stretch to accommodate anything. That's why some women could take fisting. Some women could take large objects in their vagina. Some women and go back to holding a pencil in their vagina. Because once they have control over the muscles of the vagina, they can accommodate any size. But if the woman is not properly lubricated and she's not turned on, it can cause some tearing. I'm not going to answer that question. Not at all.
All right, fine.
No, this is somebody else asking me another question.
Well, I have a question.
This is someone who's teasing me on WhatsApp. You can handle a baseball bat.
And evening greetings from Asha in Siparia. Good evening, Asha. Thanks
Okay,
so much.
Asha in Siparia. Good. So we get in somewhere. See, all of a sudden we get in feedback, and it's a build-up, you know, it's a build-up process. People just wait for the punchline, and they just wait for that first person to send the message. And when the first person sends the message, then you see others
And that's
responding.
Kind of like sex too, you know, the foreplay coming.
Right. We
Right,
need the
yeah.
little foreplay and thing
Exactly.
for the first 20 minutes. And I see my good friend Angie is on. How are you, my darling? Now I say darling and all these things in a very nice way to anyone. So those who know me will know that's my personality, and I do that all the time.
Well, I hope not the guys, right?
No, well, if Angie sounds like a guy named to you, I know Angie personally.
You said anyone.
Well, any female.
Thank you.
I wouldn't turn to you and say, darling.
I hope not. And we have another question here. Some woman who bear a child naturally, their vagina ended up being very open as compared to before. What do you recommend to tighten back the walls of the vagina?
Very simple. There's something called a magic stick. You can get it at any one of my outlets. The magic stick is something that you insert into the vagina. It's like a tampon. You don't leave it for any more than 3.5 minutes, not a second more. Make sure you remove it, otherwise it's not going to come out very easily.
Oh dear.
It tightens the vagina. It's recommended on the package for 5 minutes, but I've known women in Trinidad who have had problems. So I tell them, it also gets rid of the scar tissue in the vagina for those who have scar tissue. So sometimes you will find a jelly-like substance coming out of your vagina, or a whitish substance coming out of the vagina. It's because it's getting rid of the scar tissue in your vagina. But it is used to tighten the vagina for women who, it's something that they use in the Far East and Eastern countries a lot for women who have had children and they want to go back to work, because you know they go back to work immediately. They go in the rice field the next day.
Well, that's fantastic.
What is the magic stick, or going back to the rice field the next day?
Imagine, I didn't even know there was something like that.
Oh yeah, there's the magic stick. There's the virgin again. There's about 10 different products. Tighten up cream, magic stick, liquid virgin. Those are the ones I'm remembering right now. But the liquid virgin, the virgin again and the magic stick are the two best products because they're all natural. They are the products that are used in the Middle East and Far Eastern countries, and it works instantaneously. The magic stick, you can use it over a period of time. Of course, every time you insert it in the vagina and you pull it out, it gets smaller and smaller. You can have about 30 use, but you have to clean it properly and put it away.
Wow.
Like everything else.
And we have greetings coming from Usha in Rio Claro.
A lovely place, Rio Claro.
She should invite us to, a beach party and whatnot. What do you think about that, Doctor?
I would love that. A little. You wouldn't like to go? partner in the back there saying
Our
nothing
ghost.
tonight. But you wouldn't like to go to a nice cook on the beach, spend the evening, or go down Rio Claro. Just this is my first time listening to your program. I've been so educated. Great job. Thank you very much. Magic Stick and that guy have me laughing from the background. Yeah, he's a big joke, They were bringing me here for the comedy part of it.
And we have greetings coming out from Diane in Coral. Wow, so you went from Rio Claro straight to Coral.
Coral. Well, that's a one place we could go,
Yeah.
I cook by the river.
And
nothing better than that. I'm a river person, So.
All river lines. Make sure and invite us, right?
I love my river line.
And we have a question here. Why do males turn to outside the marriage for sex?
Well, it depends on... There are a number of reasons for that. Some persons talk about cheating and they wonder what cheating, if they are a cheater, and there are individuals who will say yes. Men would, if given, the majority of men, if given the opportunity, would do it. Most of them are scared of doing it because of STDs and STIs and whatever, because it's as easy as if a man could go to a prostitute and just simply pay for intercourse. Think about he getting it for free from someone that he likes.
Imagine that.
Right? So it's very easy to do that. And it's not only men that cheat. Women do it also. We may not be aware of it because the guys will go there and beat their chests and they will want to walk down the road and show others who they're with.
Right, hold my woman.
But that is something that is, I guess, traditional in some sense. I'm not saying it's right, but it is something that happens in our society. A deputy is essential. We even sing about it. Imagine that we sing about cheating, Isn't that one of the things in the 10 Commandments?
Thou shalt not cheat.
I don't know. Isn't there something like that? Thou shalt not commit adultery. Right. Yeah, something to that effect.
Fantastic.
But yet still we do it.
And we have a listener here. She would like to know where we could get the magic stick. Can she call in to 645?
You can call 645-4543 now. They open until 11 o'clock and ask them. If you can get it in DB at the Dr. Raj Adult Boutique. For those of you who don't know, I have a store in DB. I have a store at Grand Bazaar, Bamboo number 3. Well, not Grand Bazaar itself, Bamboo number 3, close to Grand Bazaar. And of course, at Total Limited, St. Augustine. Hi, Dr. Raj. Enjoying your show as always. It's educational. I'm inquisitive. Need to know this. Is Bourbande safe to use? No, not really. You have to be very careful with the use of Bourbande because it is something that, if not done properly, can cause you to get a permanent erection and you need to have your penis cut. And once that is cut, you'll end up like somebody we know. I'm not calling name, but if anybody call it, I'll whistle. If they call the right name while we're doing the program, I am going to whistle so they will know that is the right name. So
put it in the comments. Come on, comment that thing.
Come on, let's see if you know the guy. I didn't say he's here, but he's very close. He's very close.
And when a listener is asking where in Davie, it's at the Shops of Davie.
Shops of Davie, 172 SS Erin Road, Davie. Love the way you... Hello, Miriam. Behave yourself then.
Miriam, what are you telling Dr. Raj?
She's talking about licking something.
Oh dear. I hope it's not the magic stick.
Indra, behave yourself. I opened up a can of worms here. Anybody here have a magic stick? Somebody want a magic stick? If any one of you guys have a magic stick, let me know.
Oh, well.
They want to use it to tighten themselves up. What is that? We have some things coming here.
Yes,
come now, man. Hit me with them thing now, man.
So
Where about this one here?
Sitaram, doctor. The
brain
is the most important sexual organ. How can a man condition himself not to pre-ejaculate and suffer from erectile dysfunction?
Well, there's not the brain. You need to use the brain to control your PC muscle. That's a pubococcygeal muscle. That's a muscle that controls everything between your penis and your anus. Everything in between there. The PC muscle is that muscle that you need to learn to control to prevent premature ejaculation. If you cannot do it on your own, come to the Adult Therapy Center. We have the program for that. Dr. Raj, good night. Why do a couple in a marriage step out instead of stepping up their sex life? Because sometimes variety is the spice of life. I know I say it bluntly, but it is a fact. Sometimes you're totally in love with your wife or your husband, but you just need to experience something different.
Yeah. A little extra
It-
season in the pot, I guess.
Well, no, it's the way the human mind works is sometimes you come across a situation or you come across a person, and I dare individuals out there to tell me that they will never do something, and I could put you in a situation where you will do it. I dare people to do me that, because I will find out your weakness when it comes to things of a sexual nature, and I will put that in front of you, and you have to make a decision. And 99% of the time, you make the decision that I expect you to make. You know why? Once given the opportunity, you will do it. That's basic human instinct.
Come on, let's see in the comments. Who wants to be challenged? Who wants to actually challenge Dr. Raj tonight? Let's see what's.
But of course, if you challenge me, you want.
I mean, you have to follow through with it, of course, right?
Yeah, you have to follow through. Of course.
And we have greetings coming out from.
Who's that lovely bevy of beauties there?
Brothers Road Temple. They just
Oh,
played
yes.
Pagua. Fantastic.
And look at all those beautiful women. Oh my God. We should have gone and played Holy yesterday, boy, and nobody invited me, not a single soul sent me an invitation to come and party. You know, long time I used to be in that right through it. But I haven't taken part in Pagua for maybe about 20 years.
Oh dear. That's
Of course,
as well.
Of course, if my sister passed around, I'm sure again wet.
And we have another question here. How best can this young lady pleasure a man's penis?
Oral. Any man will want oral. But don't use your teeth.
No teething.
Just don't use your teeth. Oral with your lips and your tongue, and then you could of course use your hands on the scrotum and the penis itself, and after that is intercourse.
So more sensuality then.
Sensuality, putting your body and mind into it, and your concentration. And I have seen women that would really take their time, sometimes a massage of the genital area, and then the oral part to go with it could create that sensation in the individual to really.
That sounds like a professional there, doctor.
Easy, stop it. Lord have mercy.
And we have another question here. What can be done for some of the causes for a woman to get regular yeast infections?
What could cause regular yeast infection?
I think that's what they mean.
Introduction of sweet things to the vagina, wearing dark underwear, wet underwear, not wearing on panty shields with perfume in it. All those things could cause you to get yeast infection. The vagina needs to breathe. And Nikki, where you felt that? No, Nikki's not a man.
So she's a darling then, yeah.
She is a darling, believe me.
Darling, fantastic.
Believe me.
And thank you for the good night greetings again. I see we have a lovely couple giving us
temple.
A
this is at they look like they come from the temple or they're going to the temple.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Rather dapper tonight.
Mm-hmm. Plenty sucking and licking. Not necessarily in that order, but yes.
Is that Nikki? Who's that?
No, that is Indra.
Oh, okay.
That is not Nikki, that is Indra.
Okay, another darling then.
You got that right. And she's supposed to be fasting.
Oh boy, well.
Navratri is coming up.
God will forgive her, I'm sure, right?
Well, God, there's nothing to forgive. Sexuality and sex is part of your life. You just have to learn the control mechanism. That's where the brain comes in. But if you're hearing somebody like you and they're tempted by you, you can't help it.
You never know, right?
You can't help it, right, Sue? Lisa is on. Michelle is on. We have some beautiful women on, I must say that. Cindy with an S. Cassini. Nice name. I don't know that Cassini. Well, of course, Angie is on. Let's see who else. Sabrina.
And we have another greetings coming out here to Sam Day and Motilal family in the Brothers Road Temple. Good night to you.
I just hope. I remember once going to a Ramayana Yajna in Rosilak with my godfather, the late Pandit Haradat Maharaj. And we're sitting in the room before the Yajna starts. And this lovely, beautiful woman comes into the area. So I got up to walk out. I don't know if you want to talk to my guru about whatever. Right. So I walked out. He said, no, don't go. Sit here. So after a while, she's speaking to him and whatnot. And he asked, I said, what radio station do you listen to? So, of course, she's calling all the holy stations, but she's not calling the station I was on at the time. So I said, Baba, she's not going to tell you she listens to that. He said, do you listen to so-and-so station? She's like, yes. He said, do you know that gentleman? So I spoke again. She said, oh my God. He said, don't go out there and spoil my ramen here and tell everybody Dr. Raj here.
He's here. Oh my God, he's here.
What's that?
How do we reach a point of embracing your sexuality and not being ashamed of exploring sex and its many options?
You have to have that personal belief in yourself. You have to have that self-esteem, and you must be sure of yourself. You must not, you know, a lot of times we look in the mirror and we don't see ourselves. We see what others want us to be. When you look in the mirror, you must see yourself. You must see your true personality. You must see who you are. That's why I tell people I've always been who I am. Anyone who knows me from my childhood days, from the days that I went to high school, those who went to school with me say, as a matter of fact, I met one of my friends after 36 years. And he said, Raj, of all the students we went to school with in university, you're the only one who did what he said he was going to do. After 36 years, he was able to tell me that. You know why? I always was who I am. And I wouldn't change that for anything.
That's fantastic.
That's what you have to do. Embrace yourself.
And we'd just like to get your cell number again.
740-1961. 740-1961. Sitaram Doc, my wife and I are tuned in as usual. Rishi from Kelly Village. Thank you very much, Rishi. And I'm always happy to know where you're from, because it just gives me an idea of the demographics and where people are listening. What's
fantastic. We have a first-time listener here tonight. Send in your name. Let's see who you are. And is it safe to perform oral sex during penetration, back and forth?
Yeah, why not? You mean to take out and perform oral sex and go back into it? Of course. It's all part of making love.
I think so.
Yeah, you need a variety again. Variety
is
personal
hygiene.
Sitaram to my brother-in-law, Anil. He's on. How are you? Yes, so you need to explore. There's no limitation when it comes to your sexual practices with your partner. Don't limit yourself, because if you limit yourself, what's going to happen? You are going to fall short. Do the things that you want to do. Do the things that your partner wants you to do, and enjoy it.
Sounds about right. Oh, the first-time listener is Sandy. So greetings to you, Sandy.
Sandy from Sangre Grande. Not Sandy Grande. There's no sand in Sangre Grande.
Sandy, tell me where you're from.
Dave from Rio says, good night.
Good night to you, Dave.
Somebody say, Izzy. Hi, Don.
Messaging a storm there.
Yeah, you know, she always gives me a hard time, literally.
Oh dear. Oh, and Sandy is from Penal.
Okay, that's close to me. And I will be at the Debe branch tomorrow. I usually go at the Debe branch tomorrow. So for those of you who want to contact the Debe branch, it's 366-5843. 366-5. Well, somebody hold you up. 366-5843. That number again, 366-5843. Anyone who wants to come to visit the Adult Therapy Center in Debe, simply want to come in and say hello to me. I'm there. You can visit the store there also to see all the wonderful products. So I will be there tomorrow. Good night. Lovely program. Nigel BDC from Siparia.
Fantastic. Make sure and come in, guys. There's another first-time listener, Simone from your hometown, Dr.
Granny. Yeah.
And
the best place on this earth is Trinidad, and my best place in Trinidad is Saint Granny. Don't ever forget that. I carry that. I do have young eyes. Give it to him.
Hi, what can I do to build up my sperm?
There are products that you can use to build up your sperm. If you want the quality of your sperm to change, if you want the taste of your sperm to change, coconut water, cranberry juice, pineapple juice, very good for that. If you want to increase your sperm count, there are supplements for that. But you cannot raise testosterone and build your sperm count at the same time. So, and me fasting. Yes, I have to question that. Great job, Dr. Raj. Your advice has been awesome. Oh, I thought I was awesome. Okay, just the advice.
It could be both.
What we have here?
we have some first-time listeners coming in from Felicity.
Oh, yes, Felicity. I haven't been
That's
to
Sabrina.
Felicity.
Shout out to you.
Sabrina and Felicity. Felicity, you have some wonderful people, and I must say that. I used to spend a lot of times there hanging out and having a good time. I haven't been there in a while.
And Carol, you could actually send in your messages straight to Dr. Raj's cell number. We just sent it to you.
7401961 for those of you who want to spend personal greetings, for those of you who want to share your number with me. 7401961. Of course, if you're sending a number, make sure you send your name. I don't want to just.
Where you're from too.
Well, I like to know that. I'm a curious chap, you know, and I do put you on a broadcast list so that you know things that I'm involved in and what's happening. So you are kept abreast of things.
We have a lot of first-time listeners sending in their numbers as well too. That's fantastic.
Yeah, but sending it there doesn't do anything, eh? Because this belongs to the station.
Yeah.
So we don't see it after because our guy in the back there, who is very secretive.
He just had his hands up.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's
And
going
he doesn't even smile.
You're
with
welcome,
us.
Carol. Doctor, could we just get the number for...
Somebody's jealous of someone else. My number again?
Yes.
740-1961. 1961. It's not the year of my birth. It's 2 years before. It's 1961.
And the number for the...
Adult therapy, or DB, is 366-5843.
5843. That's
5843.
584. They were close.
Yeah. I see some persons are getting jealous and they want to start a fight.
Oh dear.
I don't mind. Go ahead and fight, but physically.
And make sure and give us a share on that Facebook stream. Give us some wow faces too, or a heart button if you're loving the show. We have a lot of first-time listeners and a lot of people commenting. Wow. I've now seen a couple of hearts coming in there, and we have some...
Wait. It's not a fight. It's a love thing. It's a love thing. One person is drawing the other person closer to you.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine we are doing a program and we're bringing two persons together. Well, I don't know if there's reciprocity.
Therapy.
I don't know if there's reciprocity in this.
Yeah.
All I know is that you're drawn to the person. I'll have to find out from the person if she's drawn to you. Ooh.
And reciprocation there. This is relationship therapy or relationship creation at work here.
Anil, my brother-in-law, says he's looking for a snow cone to eat 2 days now. I thought he had a sucker snow cone.
Really? Maybe he wants a really hard one. Who knows?
No. Snow cone is snow cone. Haven't you ever enjoyed a snow cone? Well, I like a good ice cream. I'm an ice cream kind of guy. I have really good ice cream. When I say good, nice tasting
nice
one.
And wet.
Yeah, it must be that way.
Of course.
That's why you wait for the ice cream to start melting.
Right.
But that must not be melted all the way. Right, ladies?
Because if you're going too hard, you get brain freeze.
And somebody said with milk.
With milk?
Oh yes.
Fantastic.
Snow cone with milk. Condensed milk on it. And you could use that for oral sex, but you have to make sure you lap up every single drop of that sweetness because it could cause infection. We have some greens there. You're not doing your job. We have to get rid of this guy. We have to get rid of this guy. Have things coming in fast and furious and he's not reading it. Come on.
Carol is from Tunapuna.
Carol in Tunapuna.
And Parvati is from Brothers Road. Thank you very much. And we finally have a question here. Some guys claim that regular masturbating increases their penis size. Is that true?
No, masturbation does not increase your penis size. Anyone who tells you that, they're telling you a lie.
They're a liar. They're a scammer, Dr. Raj.
They're scamming you. They're scamming you with the size of their penis. Masturbation does not increase the size of your penis. As a matter of fact, masturbation teaches some guys to be a premature ejaculator, but it does not do anything positive for your penis.
And don't send a picture of your low regions as well, too, because they might want to ask for that as well.
So we have a first-time listener from Kunupia, Rajesh.
Wow, we have a lot of
we have a lot of first-time listeners tonight, and I am very thankful for that because it means to say I have not reached the entire country as yet. It may take me another 25 years. I've been on the air for 19 years now this year. This is my 19th year. And I need another 25 years on the air. But I'll be a man walking with, coming in here with a wheelchair.
Well, you're on the stem cell therapy and
oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, come on.
Cassini says first time and definitely not the last. Well, tell me that on my cell phone, 7401961. Send me a message, WhatsApp. I love WhatsApp messages. Indra, what you tell me? You have sweet lips?
And Carol would like to know how to spell.
Somebody.
Sorry. Dr. Raj's name. I think she might want the first name.
My first name, my full name is Giriraj, Giriraj. It's a very unusual name. You may have never heard it before. Giriraj Ramnanan, better known as Dr. Raj, D-R-R-A-J. And if you want to get to my website, it's www.drrajtt.com. If you want to view some of my videos, you can go on to YouTube. What is it? Dr. Raj, the sexologist?
Dr. Raj, the sexologist. We've had a lot of really good response.
Masturbation does not affect your eyesight, although we have some businesses wearing glasses inside of there. I'm not going to call them. If you call them, I'll whistle.
It's a ghost.
Yes. Which one is this?
That's just the name spelling one.
Oh.
Hey, I'm from Sani Grande, Raj. How to make my period come every month?
That be a hormone imbalance. You need to come to the adult therapy center for that. My mom is having a ball here. She introduced me to your program. Oh, you have a very good mom. Thank you, mommy.
Yeah.
Thank you, mommy. I love mommies like that. That is where mommies should be. What? Somebody out? Somebody out? IPL going on now? You know what do so? We have one more minute. We just got that from our director. We have one more minute.
Some overweight woman complain about the bad sentence. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead. Because I have so much things
in their vagina. What causes this bad scent in overweight woman?
It is because of bacteria buildup. You need to air your vagina.
Let it breathe.
Thank you. Hi, Dr. Raj. My name is Kirkland. I sometimes have problem keeping an erection or sometimes getting one. Do you think it's in my tester? Of course it is. If you have problem getting it or keeping it, visit me at the Adult Therapy Center in Debe or in St. Augustine. My two offices, one is in Debe, the other one is in St. Augustine. And Nikki, I see that, I don't know if there's a smiley face or if there's a grin, but somebody's grinning. And my darling Lisa says, you are definitely highly blessed. Thank you very much. Barry says,
are coming now.
my wife and I are listening to your program on Facebook. Okay, she really likes. Thank you very much. Can't read the rest of that because it could get in trouble.
And I think we're just at the end now.
See why I'm drawn to her. I don't know why you're drawn to her. I don't even know what she looks like. I have to find out what she looks like first of all. Next thing you're drawn to someone who's not to my liking. Anyway, good night. Until next week, Monday, 7:30, I am out of here. Good night.